Now I'd like to ask Ben Thompson of the Criminal Justice Policy Institute to say a few words.
There will only be a few. I hate to follow Reverend Rivers.
God bless you.
There were two things. One, 40 years ago, I was an inmate in the state prison system in New York. And some of you will remember the Attica Rebellion. I was there. Not at Attica, but I was at the Bronx House of Detention, on my way to Sing Sing, and then on my way to Nappaneck. I've spent the last 40 years working in the criminal justice field, for the most part. I had a record sealed by the governor of New York 12 years after I arrived here. Did undergraduate, eventually received my second master's from Harvard. Eventually went on to run a prison, one of the few ex-offenders that had a chance to be on both sides. And I've been working on social justice all of this time. And as I started to watch what was happening here in this state, both with probation and then parole, and I started to get this feeling that, one, we have another Attica in our stomach in this country. And the question is where and when, but it's coming. Fast forward, well, going back about 6 months, as I saw this thing really steamrolling, I didn't know what to do about it. I had just started as the executive director of the Criminal Justice Policy Coalition, and no one was thinking about stopping this or slowing it down. And I didn't know where to go, to be honest with you. I thought this would be a part-time gig, 20 hours a week, no heavy lifting. It was going to be easy and fun. And all of a sudden, I started getting this feeling in my stomach that we could have that next Attica here. You know, you have basically, as a state, you've clogged the system. You're not letting second-degree lifers out. And as I was telling Senator Brownsberger, someone who's I ran Deer Island House of Correction, and I also worked for the State Department of Corrections as Director of Programs under Frank Hall years ago. When you clog the system, and this racial and this permanent injustice of poor people and people of color occur, and then you start bringing in influxes of people into the system, you get to a point where people have no choice and they have nothing to lose. And that's what brought about Attica. People had nothing to lose. And 39 people died in those 4 days at Attica. And I realized that we've got to do something. And I literally did not know where to go. And I went to Reverend Rivers, who I've known for over 30 years. And I said, what do we do about this? How do we get people engaged? People think it's a done deal. And in the last 3 months, it's probably been, for me, the most rewarding 3 months of my professional career, because I've seen something happen here that I have not seen happen in this state in my 40 years. I've seen people, and I thank the Unitarians so much, and I thank Reverend Rivers for the leadership, but what I've seen is, I've seen people of goodwill come together and say, we have to be that voice of reason. One of the things that became clear to me is that people like Les Gosel of Melissa's Law and our governor and our elected officials, both in the House and in the Senate, they're good people. I mean, I believe that they're good people, but I believe they've been getting bad information. I believe they've not received enough information. And when you start developing policy on emotion, we're in trouble as a state. So what we're saying is, one, the only way this stops is with the faith community. It's the only thing that can reach enough people to affect change and to slow this process down, because all we're asking people of good faith to do is slow it down and give us a chance to put all of the evidence on the table. And in this age of instant access to information, if you say to people, just Google 3 strikes and Google racial disparity. Google 3 strikes and put in 3 strikes and prison growth. Google 3 strikes and say put in cost of prisons. And the information is there. It's not like we have to go to libraries and look for it anymore. It's just pressing a button and it jumps up. So all we're asking our elected officials and our governor to do is push the button. That's all. Just push the button. And then, after we've had a chance for bipartisan, evidence-based discussions, and we start developing policy based on research, then vote your conscience. I don't have a problem with that. But don't vote without doing the research. And it will happen. I think we have a chance, and we've got people's attention, but it's got to be the faith community, because we have nothing else in these communities that could speak with any moral authority on any issue that impacts all of us. Thank you.